What's going on, guys? It's Hayden, and I am bringing you the new look Magma recap for week 5 of the ISLR Gen 6 throwback season. I have 2 premiere battles for you this week. Then I also have a league standings update with 3 weeks left in the season. And then I finally have a crazy shakeup in all 4 of the awards that we cover right now. So, without any hesitation, let's go ahead and jump into our first battle. Our first battle brings the Virginia Merrills taking on the Moss Deep City Sharpedos. The Sharpedos are trying to get back into the playoffs, while the Virginia Merrills are trying to fight for that top spot going into the playoffs. The Merrills brought Choice Scarf Lampent, Papaya Berry Arbok, Leftovers Ferrothorn, Choice Scarf Darmanitan, Assault Vest Sandslash, and Eevee Light Porygon 2, while the Sharpedos brought Leftovers Starmie, Mega Pinsir, Choice Band Crocodile, Life Orb Aerodactyl, Leftovers Blitzy, and Air Balloon Chandelure. So let's go ahead and see this battle. And with that, the Moss Deep Sharpedos do take home the 2-0 win over the Virginia Merrills, boosting their playoff chances. As you can see, I tried to tighten up a little bit. Instead of just telling you guys the kills and knockouts, I kind of redid the whole format so I could kind of show it on screen for you guys while I read through it. For the Sharpedos, as you can see, Starmie had a great match, picking up 4 knockouts, with Mega Pinsir and Crocodile picking up 1 apiece. And then for the Meryl's, you had Porygon 2 picking up 2 knockouts, with Darmanitan and Sandslash picking up 1 apiece. Great battle by the Sharpedos to pull this out, keeping their playoff chances alive. As for the Virginia Meryl's, they were, I believe, 3rd coming into this week. Now they're going to be towards closer to 7th, so the last 3 weeks are going to be very important for both of these teams. And with that, let's go on to battle number 2. And starting battle number 2, we have D's Pokemans taking on a frequent of the premier battles each week in the Fiend City Froakies. The Fiend City Froakies are currently 2nd going into this week, going and fighting for that top seed, while D's Pokemans are fighting around that 7, 8, 9 spot, trying to keep their playoff dreams alive for this season. As you can see, the Pokemans brought Mega Deontay, Zapdos, Jellicent, Pangoro, Diggersby, and Heatran. And then the Froakies brought Hydreigon, Cacturne, Excadrill, Hippowdon, Keldeo, and Delphox. And just like that, the Fiend City Froakies are 1 win closer to clinching a playoff spot as they take the 3-0 victory over these Pokemans. For the knockouts, Hydreigon had 3, Excadrill had 2, and Cacturne had 1, while for the Pokemans, Zapdos, Jellicent, and Pangoro all picked up 1 apiece. It will be interesting now for the Magma division going forward, as there are 3 teams that are sort of separating themselves for that fight for the top spot, and the Fiend City Froakies are definitely one of those 3. So we will just have to see how the last 3 weeks fare for them. But with that, let's move on to battle number 3. And in battle number 3, we have the Toronto Tyrantrums taking a 4-0 victory over the Strolin Ashton in a battle of 2 current playoff teams. The Tyrantrums brought Mega Manectric, Choice Scarf Garchomp, Colbur Berry Victini, Expert Belt Greninja, Eviolite Togetic, and Black Sledge Roserade, while the Strolin Ashton brought Mega Charizard X, Scizor, Gliscor, Whimsicott, Skarmory, and Zoroark. As for the knockouts, as you see on the screen, Greninja picked up 3, Garchomp picked up 2, and Mega Manectric rounds out the knockout with 1 for the Tyrantrums. And for the Strolling Ashton, Mega Charizard X and Scizor pick up 1 apiece. And in battle number 4, we have another 4-0 win. This time it is multi-scale over the Sunset Rose Meowstic. Both of these teams fighting for that playoff spot. The multi-scale brought Choice Specs Thunderous T, Leftovers Landorus T, Assault Vest Tornadus T, Mega Blastoise, Choice Scarf Infernape, and Weakness Poly Metagross, while the Sunset Rose Meowstic brought Mega Mawile, Air Balloon Torkoal, Choice Scarf Milotic, Choice Scarf Heliolisk, Heat Rock Ninetales, and Citrus Berry Togekiss. And as for the knockouts, we had multi-scale with Metagross had 3, then Thundurus, Therian, Mega Blastoise, and Infernape all picked up 1. And on the Sunset Rose side, we had Heliolisk picking up their lone 2 knockouts. And leading off our battle number 5, we have the Denver Dracos with the 6-0 win over the Nova Umbreon. The Denver Dracos are now the 3rd team that I was mentioning making that push for the top playoff spot. And having a 6-0 win this deep into the season is definitely going to help them with that. For the knockouts, Mega Swampert, who was already 2nd in the MVP standings leading up to this week, picked up 5 knockouts this week, as Aegislash picked up the lone other for the Dracos. And unfortunately, obviously with 6-0, no knockouts for the Umbreon. But hopefully both of these teams can finish out strong. And for the Dracos, that means hopefully for them picking up that top playoff spot and getting that week 1 bye. And in our final battle of the week, another 6-0, we have the Logan Lopunny winning over the Vancouver Chi-Yu. The Lopunny brought Mega Lopunny, Jirachi, Dragon Dance Salamence, Rotom Wash, Sylveon, and Claydol. Then the Vancouver Chi-Yu brought Mew, Mega Pidgeot, Tyranitar, Talonflame, Dragalge, and Galvantula. Salamence was able to set up a early Dragon Dance, well, 2 early Dragon Dance, and was able to sweep this week, which rocketed them up the MVP rankings. I believe they are now top 5. And just a good push by the Logan Lopunny, who I believe were on the fringe for the playoffs going into this week. So coming up soon, we will see how far they did push up the standings. And with that, that does end our battle recap. So let's jump right into those standings and see where everyone lies. And with their big 6-0 victory this week, the Denver Dracos do take back over the number 1 spot at 4-1 plus 14. So they do currently hold the bye for the first round of the playoffs. However, right on their heels are 2 teams at 4-1 plus 11 in the Fiend City Froakies and the Toronto Tyrantrums. Then right below them are 4 teams at 3-2 with the Multiscale at plus 8, Stroll and Ashton at plus 3, the Virginia Marrows also at plus 3, and then the Logan Lopunny, coming off their 6-0 victory this week, are back to an even differential. Right on the outside looking in, we have 2 and 3 teams with the Moss Deep Sharpedos in 8th at -1 differential, and then in 9th we have the Sunset Rose Meowstic at -4. And then right behind them in 10th, we have the D's Pokemans at 1-4 -6, followed by Vancouver Chi-Yu at 1-4 -14, and then rounding out with the Nova Umbreon at 0-5 -25. This is setting up to be a very good playoffs, as the Denver Dracos would obviously have that bye as I was talking about. Then our current playoff bracket would have the Froakies playing the Lopunny, the Tyrantrums playing the Marill, and then Multiscale playing the Ashton. With 3 weeks left, I cannot wait to see how these teams finally end up. Will we see these 7 just in a different order? Or will we have one of these teams in the 8, 9, and 10 come up and pass up these top 7? Only time will tell. But with that, let's go ahead and jump into our awards. As I was mentioning earlier, with our Arceus award after their amazing week this week, Mega Swampert of the Denver Dracos has pulled away from the pack and is now 15-3, with their closest competition being Keldeo of the Fiend City Froakies, down 6 knockouts back at 9-1. We also have a new leader for the Lugia Award, as Porygon 2 of the Virginia Merrills toughed it out this week and is now our solo leader at 23 hits taken. Coming in second right now is Gliscor of the Strollin Ashton at 17, who has been the leader for a few weeks now. With how tight this race is, we should see some more back and forth between these two and a couple of the others in the top 5 over the next 3 weeks, so can't wait to see who comes out on top. Then, no surprise for the Mew Award, we still have Politoed of the Denver Dracos leading the pack now with 10. And then we have Gliscor again of the Strolling Ashton in second for the second straight award with 8. And finally, our Cosmog Award for the best low tier Mon. We still have Feraligatr of the Toronto Tyrantrums leading the way at 6-3, but we do have a new second place Mon with Sandslash of the Virginia Merrills at 4-3. I do know there are a couple Mons that are going to be fighting for this spot next week, so I can't wait to bring you guys that. But with that, that does bring us to the end of the recap. And if you did enjoy this recap or any of the ongoing season, either Aqua or Magma, please like, subscribe, and share to a friend. I will have the power rankings out tomorrow, but this is going to be a special week as there is a holiday coming up and I'm going to be gone all weekend. So it will be a combined Aqua and Magma power rankings. And it's just to see, it would be kind of cool to see where teams match up on the power rankings from each division and which teams share the same spots. And I guess for the question at the end of the video, will any Mon be able to catch Mega Swampert? And they're so far 15 knockouts this season, currently averaging 3 a week. So that means they are on pace for 24, which would be close to the ISL season-long record, which I believe is in the 30s. But with a couple more weeks like that, they could still reach it. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because I have a few more videos to make. And as always, thanks for watching.